Hi there, I'm Pony, and this is the end of my first month of HRT. Hi there, I'm Pony Horton. I'm old, I'm trans, get off my lawn. Well, the HRT report. This is the end of my first month of hormone replacement therapy in terms of using estrogen. I've not yet started on spirolactone. I'm still primarily only concentrating on estrogen, but there you have it. So far, as I've said, the effects I've noticed have been softer skin on my elbows. I haven't noticed anything else particular yet that I can comment on. The softness of the elbows for the most part. And so, well, end of month one. Let's see what happens. And now, Pony show and tell. You can get up now. You can get up. There we go. Anyway, what I want to show you tonight kind of dovetails with tonight's subject. This. I'm sure a lot of you recognize that sound if any of you have gone shopping around Christmas time in front of stores. That's the sound of a Salvation Army bell. This is my Salvation Army bell. I was a Salvation Army bell ringer in 1999 in Santa Clarita or Valencia, and I did that for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. And ever since then, I have to say the Salvation Army has helped me whenever I have needed it. I was very, very proud to be a bell ringer that Christmas, and I hope that when you encounter bell ringers that you give. I know that ever since that experience I've given, and there was one thing that inspired me to do this. As I said, I just always wanted to be a bell ringer and I needed some work. Well, I was out there ringing that bell, and this young man, couldn't have been more than 25, comes up, he was probably younger, comes up and he puts several dollar bills into my bucket. And I was kind of stunned and amazed. I thanked him, of course, but I said, I just have to ask, why do you, a young man like you is not the normal demographic for donating to these types of things. Why did you do that? And he explained to me that ever since the Salvation Army helped he and his family, he's always made a point of donating. Well, the Salvation Army helped me when I needed it, and so now I make a point of donating every holiday season, and I hope you will too. This is not an advertisement or a plug for the Salvation Army. This is just about an experience that I've had in my life, and it had a positive effect on me, and I hope it positively helped other people with the money that I was able to raise. And as I say, the Salvation Army has been good to me over the years, and give when you can. Thank you. Now, the subject for today's show deals with giving, deals with generosity, deals with helping. It's not trans-specific, however, a great deal of this help came from my friends here in town in the LGBTQ community. I normally don't talk too much about this, but I live in a town in California called Tehachapi. We're up in the mountains at about 4,200 feet, halfway between Mojave on one side and Bakersfield on the other. It's a lovely little town with a growing LGBTQ community, as well as a growing communities of people of color who are moving up here. We're becoming more diverse here in Tehachapi. And with that in mind, a few years ago, I got involved with some of the local theater group people, as well as the local LGBTQ society here in town, group here in town. And I've been fairly actively involved with them since for the last couple of years now. And these people have become very good, true friends, allies, and helpmates when I've needed it. And this happened today. Now, as I don't know if I brought this up or you know, but I'm filming a movie about William Mulholland and his friendship with his associated best friend, Harvey Van Norman, set against the backdrop of the construction of the Los Angeles Aqueduct and ultimately the St. Francis Dam disaster. And I've been, this is ridiculous, I've been making this movie for the last 25 years out of my own pocket, just trying to get scenes done until I can finish it. And I will be finishing it by 2028 because that's the 100th anniversary of the disaster, and it has to be done by then. I've got over 90% of it done already. I just need to get a little last bit up over the hump. And today I had an important scene that I needed to do finally put into the can with the help of a number of people from around town here, again as part of both the theater group and the LGBTQ community here in town. And I wanted to thank them. I wanted to thank Guy and Eric and Caleb and Jacob and the folks over at Kelsey's Diner here in Tehachapi, they gave us the space to film a scene from my Mulholland movie that takes place in 1928 at Saugus Cafe. So we filmed it here at Kelsey's Diner in Tehachapi. And I got it in the can, and I'm happy with the way it looks. Here's a little snippet of it.
Hey fellas, say, have you seen the leaks in the dam? Are you guys trying to flood me out down below?
Chet, we expect this dam to break any minute now.
Chet, if that dam is still there by Wednesday, I'll take you out fishing at the reservoir myself.
Oh, penalty.
So you can see what we're going for, at least a little bit. There will be visual effects added out that window, and it'll be made to look a little more like 1928 when we're done with it. But if it hadn't been for these wonderful people helping me on their own time and on their own dime, I couldn't have gotten this done. And this brings me to just simply mentioning community. For those of you, especially those of you in my age bracket, and especially if you're either LGBTQ or especially specifically transgender, it can be real easy to isolate yourself. It can be hard to relate to what a lot of the younger and middle-aged people are relating to nowadays, the ones who are having active dating lives, sex lives, and social lives. Those of us who are over 65, a lot of us tend to isolate and close off and become hermits. I know I did. I've lived up here for 18 years, and for the first 14 or 15, I was quite a hermit. I only had one or two friends in town. Now, when I walk into the brewery nowadays, virtually everyone greets me by name. In fact, I'm embarrassed to say that half the people I don't recognize because I'm dealing with my own neurological issues, which tends to cause me to have trouble with forming new memories. And that's only just been in the last couple of years that this has been happening. But my point is that these people have been there for me. They have been generous for me. And I want to let you know that, especially as an older person, stretch yourself a little bit. Reach out into your community. Meet people. Engage yourself. Volunteer. Show up at socials and mixers, especially LGBTQ and transgender mixers. Just as well as any other thing in your local area that might be of interest to you. I'm a model railroader, so if there's a model train club meet in town, I'm usually going to show up. That's what I do, among other things. I also show up here in Tehachapi. We have the old Tehachapi Depot and Train Museum, and there'll be times when I'll go there just to browse around and say hello to the docents and the people who work there. They all know me by name. But these people, they're there for us. It's vitally important to have allies, friends, supporters, neighbors, and a community of people who know you and are there for you, that you can pick up the phone and call or text. It is vitally important at our age not to be alone in this transgender journey. Don't be satisfied with just dressing yourself up and putting on your bra and your makeup and your hair in your own home. Step out. Push your comfort zone a little bit. I started doing that here, I guess about a year and a half ago, when I first started wearing the hoop earrings, and then the big hoop earrings anyways. I always worn fairly decent, like 1 inch or so hoops, but these are like 70, 80 millimeters. And once that happened, the dam burst, and I started going around town with my eyelashes. You can see I'm wearing them here, sometimes a full face of makeup. It's not too hot out. It's still hot out right now. This is summertime, and this is just the end of July, beginning of August. Yeah, I'm not going to put on full face in conditions like that. But the eyelashes, I love my eyelashes and my eyeshadow, so I put that on for the evening. You can see I've got this silver theme going here, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. My friend Vanetta, my braider, we decided to change up the color scheme. We went with silver to go with my silver and my silver and my silver and my silver, what's remaining of it. I love the way this looks. I wasn't quite sure. I was scared when she was putting it on, but it came out looking fantastic. Vanetta Lambert, thank you so much for your wonderful hair art and for your friendship. You've been taking care of me for years now, and I'm planning on coming back to you for years. Thank you so much. And again, that's what friendships do for you if you extend yourself and you reach out. And, give to your friends too. Help them when they need it. It's not a one-way street. And you will find you will gain great riches just emotionally, if nothing else, by helping the people who you make friends with, because they can eventually become loved ones. And that's all any of us really want. Speaking of loved ones and silver hair and all that, that's pretty much all I've got for you this evening. I just wanted to cover the idea of gaining and maintaining your friends and your allies, because they'll be there for you when you need it, just like you saw the results of here today. This took hours and hours of work and days and days and days of planning. And in fact, I want to thank Kelsey's Restaurant in Tehachapi also for allowing us the space to film this. We did it on kind of a trade deal. I recently photographed their new menu, which you can see online, and as a result, they allowed me the use of the room for a few hours to get the filming done. And they even provided us the food for free. The stuff that you saw the meeting on screen was provided by Kelsey's for free, including one for me for dinner. So thank you so much, Kelsey's. And with that, I will say thank you for again visiting me here at my vlog. This is Hormone Week number, well, it's the end of week 4, so it's the end of the first month. So we're beginning month 2 with estrogen. And I don't know if I'll be starting to take spirolactone soon or not, but it'll have to happen at some point, especially if I want my hair regrowth to come and larger breast development to happen. So with that being said, and with my silver theme happening here, I'll leave you with a brief amusing story about my family. My mom, Jean, had a younger sister, Dorothy. Dorothy was a lovely person. Aunt Dorothy married a wonderful man, Uncle Bill, and they had 2 great kids, my cousins Mark and Jill. Mark is 3 years older than me, Jill is 3 years younger. Our entire extended family consisted of only 7 people. Myself, my mom, Aunt Dorothy, Uncle Bill, Mark, Jill, and Grandma. My mom's and Aunt Dorothy's mom. So we had a bit of a rumor mill, or I should say a very poorly tuned telephone game in our family. Apparently Aunt Dorothy, one time when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, Aunt Dorothy decided that she was going to get some light streaks and tips in her otherwise dark brown hair. You know, just a little bit of frosting here and there. Well, by the time that story had gone through my uncle, my cousin Mark, my cousin Jill, my grandma, and my mom, and had gotten to me, my Aunt Dorothy had dyed her entire head pure white. Till next week.